here are the shades again. Okay, so I said I was going to try to read a book for next week, Saturday, or this Saturday. And I'm actually just going to talk about me and books in general. There's a car going the wrong direction. I'm going to have to wait because I'm currently in a parking space. And it's not the best setup, but that's what they chose to do. So we're going to have to try to figure out how to get out of here first. So let's go. I'm going to turn on the air conditioning just a bit because it's kind of hot in here. Let's try not to crash into anybody. So far, so good. Okay, so me and books. I tend to spend, or used to spend, a lot of time going to bookstores, and I would basically just look at anything that interested me, mostly non-fiction. I gotta pay attention here because there's this van. They parked in a very unusual spot. Can I go past here? I can. Alright. So yeah, non-fiction mostly because that's the kind of thing that I'm interested in. I used to read a lot of fiction books when I was, say, up to my 20s, I want to say. Anybody coming over there? No? Okay. Now we are out of Dodge. Annoying road leading up to said parking place. Okay, so we're gonna go around the area so I can just have a little bit of time to talk because otherwise it's only going to be a 5-minute video. So the type of stuff that I like to read is like philosophy, although not necessarily philosophy, more like, I guess, sociology would be a thing, and psychology is usually a pretty big favorite of mine. I'm going to try to hurry up to catch these green lights. Oh yeah, forget about it. I'm going. See you later. And what else? Well, all sorts of things. Gotta get this green light too. There we go. And then we're gonna go straight ahead, which is right over there. Okay. I'm gonna go for a little bit so I can go smoothly rather than feeling like my engine's making lots of noise. Okay, great. So, and whenever I buy one, I'm thinking, oh, this book is going to be it. This is the thing that I've been waiting for. I'm always looking for something fun, something interesting. I always want to learn more stuff about just people and what people do. And so far, most books that I bought, I haven't finished because for whatever reason, I just can't get into it. And usually about chapter 2 or 3, I'm done. So then I put the book down and I have a whole bookcase full of books that I've never actually finished that I might want to finish at some point because it's an interesting topic and I'm hoping that if I struggle through it, I'll be able to get something out of it. But mostly I just get bored and distracted. And also a lot of times people who write books, the authors, they tend to write books in a way that they could have put everything in 2 chapters, but they had to stretch everything out to 500 pages or something. And that's always really annoying because then you get a lot of fluff. And I'm just trying to get to the point because if anything, I would really prefer books that are like maybe 100 to 200 pages that really just get down to this is it, you know, this is the core of the matter, these are the facts, here's a list of things that you need to know and stuff like that. But they go, once upon a time I was on a bus and I was doing this and I was doing that, and la 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 la, and just like, okay, great. 3 pages later finally we get to a question and then we take another 5 pages to answer it, even though it's already quite clear at the start what the answer is going to be. I don't know what the guy in front of me is trying to do. He's really being weird. But okay, it's a bit of a Sunday driver, I think. It's nice weather, that's why I decided to drive out as well. And this guy's got one of those rooftops. Come on then, Post NL, go. Go, if you need to. and that opens up, so he's got like this fresh breeze going through the car, but it's not exactly helping his brain much. This guy over here is not going anywhere. Everybody's really come out and driven, who's really good at driving today, apparently. Myself included, because I prefer to just kind of stick around, wait to see what other people do. And there's a guy there who's broken down next to the road. Everything is going great today. It is a Wednesday. Just thought I'd tell you that. It's Wednesday afternoon. You would expect it to be quieter because people would be at work. It's in the middle of the afternoon. But nope, we got people all over the place. Anyway, so yeah, the books take ages. There is like a book that I finished not too long ago. By not too long ago, I mean about 3 years or so, because that's how long I consider not too long ago to be. And it was called The Drunk Tank Pink. Drunk Tank Pink, as in drunk, the physical state that you're in after you've consumed too much alcohol, and tank as in something you put water in, or a person, whatever it is you put in a tank, and like a container type space, and pink as in the color, because what they had figured out in a certain location at a police station was that if they put a drunkard in a cell that was painted pink, they would be much calmer in just a few minutes, maybe half an hour, I don't know. Come on, guy. Alright, so they figured that the color pink had an influence on how people behaved, like it calmed them down, and they did some tests with that, because the book itself, by the way, was all about how colors and sounds, I think also some sound, in any case, any type of stimulation from the outside has an effect on you, and makes you do things that you think you've chosen to do consciously, but actually it's just a reaction to your environment. So they figured out that pink had a calming nature or calming effect on people, and they did some other tests, like they had people try to lift weights, and then first they would expose them to the color blue, and then they'd have them lift some weights, and they would be pretty good. They'd be able to lift more weights than if they were to have just watched the color pink, because pink apparently made them feel a little weaker, a little softer, I guess a bit more gentle, I don't know, but either way, this guy is turning lefts. Go on. What are you doing? They've changed their mind and now they don't know where they are, so that's going to be great because we're right behind them. Anyway, now what? It's already a one-lane road, and then they don't know where they are, so they're also really slow, and they step on the brakes the entire time, blah blah blah. They might be doing it on purpose because they see me talking, and they might be thinking that I'm talking about them, which is correct now, but not normally. Anyway, so that's a whole book about how the environment influences your decision-making, etc. Now, get out of here. Oh my god. Get out of here. You can go to the middle part. Jesus, Grandma. That annoys the crap out of me. Alright, so Grandma didn't know how to drive, and now she's hopefully almost home or whatever she's planning on doing. No idea. So she's out of the way, thankfully. So that book is all about how the environment influences your behavior, and colors and smells and temperatures as well. Like they talk about this test where they gave somebody a cup of a beverage, something to hold in an elevator, and then they would ask them to help judge a candidate for a certain position, like an interview type of thing. And sometimes the researcher who pretended to be one of the interviewers would give this fellow interviewer a cold drink to hold, and sometimes they would give him a hot drink to hold. And if they were holding a cold cup, which they then gave back before the interview started, because the researcher would just pretend that they need to rifle through their notes or something just before they get to their floor in the elevator. So like, oh, could you hold this for a second? And then a couple of seconds later, they take it back. And if they had been holding a cold drink during that elevator ride, then their judgment of the candidate that they were interviewing afterwards would be cooler than if they had been holding a warm drink. They would be more positive about the person that they have been interviewing, even if they had held like a cup of coffee or something. So that's also very interesting. So that's, I think, a good thing if you are going in for an interview, that the person in front of you gets a fresh cup of coffee as well, because that'll make them more likely to like you or something. They'll be in a better mood and more likely to be, positive towards you. So all you don't have to do is make sure that you're a good candidate, and don't offer them a cup of, I don't know, Coke or something, or a can of Coke. Anyway, so there's that. That's a really interesting book if you're interested in that type of things. You could count that as the first book review video, I guess, because I haven't actually read another book in between time, not finished it, because like I said, a lot of them are very fluff, and I might just do a book review every couple of weeks, because I don't think I'll be finishing much in between time. Or I'll just stop reading a book and tell you why I stopped reading it. That's also an option, but I do want to finish books so I can tell you a little bit what the books are about and either recommend or not, based on what I've read, the entire book in that case. So that is Drunk Tank Pink and a car vlog all in one, because I figured that might be a nice time to talk about these types of things so nobody else is bothered by it. Except maybe that grandma that was driving in front of me, who may have thought that I was like angrily muttering at her in my car, which I was at the point that she was being really impractical, because she was going to cross the road over to an area on the left side of the road, and there's like this median, and you can't actually put your whole car there, but she apparently didn't think that was possible, so she stopped in the middle of our lane and waited for the cars to pass so she could cross all the way. But she could have easily waited in the middle, which is what most people are supposed to do, so the rest of the traffic can keep going. But apparently she hadn't realized that, and so since she was already being annoying by using her turning signals and stepping on her brakes repeatedly, even though she didn't need to go to those places, people were very annoyed behind her, including me. So that's that. And I am almost home, so I'm gonna call it here, and I'll see you for another video. Thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.